All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video we are going to talk about one of the bigger idiots in the sport of boxing and one of the more idiotic things that I've heard said in the sport of boxing in a while. That coming about Gervonta Davis from Pauli Malignaggi, which should be expected, but is still surprising in its ridiculousness. Let's talk about Paulie. I think I'm as good as Gervonta Davis Malignaggi in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. First of all, let me thank God for the ability to talk to you guys about boxing on this fine day. And thank you to all the supporters that come by and watch the videos on a regular basis. I greatly appreciate you guys' support. Pauli Malignaggi said something that is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to have to talk about that in this video. In short, he claims that Gervonta Davis, if he retired right now, would not have beaten better competition than he did. Or should I say, he let these words let out his mouth. If I would have fought the same people that Gervonta Davis fought, I would be undisputed too. And he goes off to say that Gervonta Davis has never beaten a Hall of Famer, and basically then compares him to Adrian Broner and says, hey, and Adrian Broner actually did too much of it and that he wanted to fight everybody. And so in a strange way, acts as if Adrian Broner is more commendable for his career than Gervonta Davis is for his career. I think that's a fair representation of the foolishness that this man just spewed. Now, before I get into the details though, let me welcome you guys back to the channel. Thank all you guys so much for your support. Pauli Malignaggi. Okay, let's look at this bit by bit. Gervonta Davis said that he may retire at the end of the year. Pauli Malignaggi, being Pauli Malignaggi and being one of the cheerleaders for the Gervonta Davis Hate Corps, or PBC Hate Corps troops, says that if he retired right now, that there wouldn't have beaten a single Hall of Famer. Okay, let me break this to you, Paulie. No active fighter beats a Hall of Famer until they actually retire and the people they fought go into Hall of Fame. So no active fighter, other than, I guess, Jake Paul, are actually fighting Hall of Famers. But in the spirit of what he meant, which was people that will eventually make it into the Hall of Fame, since when is it a standard for a man to retire from the sport of boxing? Since when is it the standard that you have to beat a Hall of Famer? Do you know how incredibly ridiculously hard it is to beat a boxing Hall of Famer? First of all, you're not even guaranteed to have a Hall of Famer in your weight class with you at the time and available to fight you. As is the case with Gervonta Davis, who is in the lightweight division. And as far as I know, there's only one guy in that division that has a possibility of making it to the Hall of Fame, and that's Vasily Lomachenko. And Vasily Lomachenko turned Gervonta down for a fight. What's he supposed to do? Hire Blackwater or somebody to snatch Vasily Lomachenko and bring him and stick him in the ring? Is he supposed to do that? How is he supposed to get that done, Paulie? So, in order to fight some of these guys, especially when you're in a competitive position, you know, you need a little luck. You need your promoter to have a couple signed to him. Or you know what else you could be? Since Pauli Malignaggi wants to talk about what he would do in his career. Because Pauli Malignaggi did fight guys where there are arguments that they could have been in the Hall of Fame, right? Pauli crying spilled milk because he fought some guys that would make it into the Hall of Fame, and he says Gervonta hasn't. I'll leave alone the fact that he probably has. We'll see what happens, but why was Pauli Malignaggi able to fight all these guys? Big surprise. Paulie Malignaggi was able to fight these guys because Paulie Malignaggi was a journeyman. A journeyman. If you look at Ray Beltran, you'll see that Ray Beltran fought a lot of champions too. He fought Terrence Crawford. I do believe he fought Ricky Burns. He was up in that lightweight division and actually won a title there. Does that mean that Ray Beltran is something special? Anyway, Paulie Malignaggi saying that he would beat, if he fought the same guys, he would be undefeated. You should, dude, because you're a welterweight. How are you bragging that if you fought Leo Santa Cruz, you'd be undefeated? You may beat Leo Santa Cruz because, dude, you ended your career at 147 pounds. I don't think Paulie Malignaggi was at lightweight that long if he was at lightweight at all. He fought Adrian Broner and lost to Adrian Broner at welterweight. Of course, Paulie Malignaggi can look at guys like Leo Santa Cruz, guys like Frank Martin, guys like what's the guy, man? I'm forgetting the guy's name that won the WBA championship. Even Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia. Even though I find it very hilarious that Paulie Malignaggi thinks he's going to beat Ryan Garcia, I don't see that. But anyway, of course you're going to beat some of these guys because you're bigger than them. But again, excuse me, the fact that Paulie Malignaggi fought these guys was because Paulie Malignaggi wasn't very good. And a lot of these guys get shots like that. You see Pedraza in there with pretty much everybody. Why? Because people think they can beat Pedraza, so they give Pedraza the fight. You don't see guys that are slick, southpaw, one-punch knockout artist guys getting fights. Similar to guys like Gary Russell Jr. But aside from that, let's look at the fact that he commends Adrian Broner for Adrian Broner taking chances, but still criticizes him. And criticizes Gervonta Davis, in his words, Paulie's words, for not taking chances. He criticized one guy for taking chances and said, this guy takes chances, but he actually took too many chances. Are you his manager or something, Paulie Malignaggi? You're going to try to talk up Adrian Broner, his career over Tank's career? Come on, man. Let's stop it. Up until 135, Adrian Broner the fact that Adrian Broner lost to guys at 147 pounds, and yes, I commend Adrian Broner all the time for getting the fights and taking the fights, but once again, why were they giving Adrian Broner the fights? They were giving Adrian Broner the fights because they think they can beat Adrian Broner. Mikey Garcia thought he could beat Adrian Broner. You don't see Lomachenko trying to go out of his way to make fights with Gervonta because it's not quite as sure. There hasn't been a Paulie Malignaggi versus Adrian Broner fight at 147 that can make people look askance at Adrian Broner and say, ooh, maybe this is too big a weight class. You know? But anyway, just keep listening to these dudes and, you know, you'll get a headache eventually. Anyway, Paulie Malignaggi is one of these guys that can line up some facts, make a coherent argument, but then when you break it down and you actually think about what he said, you have to say, number one, dude, you're just out there hating. That sounds like you hating. For you to say that you could beat any of the 130 pounders and 135 pounders that Gervonta Davis has fought when you were a 147 pounder, come on, man. What is that nonsense? I mean, Gervonta Davis is not supposed to be up there fighting Miguel Cotto. What are you talking about? He's a 126 pounder that's going up to 135, and he's already been to 140. And guess what? He fought a 140 pounder in Mario Barrios that wound up being the 140. He fought a 140 pounder, Mario Barrios, that wound up being a 147 pound champion. But don't worry, go read Gervonta Davis's contracts and see if you can find something in that contract that can allow you to take his credit away from him. Go ahead and do it. I know that's what y'all want to do. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.